What's happening, everybody? Big John here. If you're tuning in, there was no day 75. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, as we all know. I didn't go out and get drunk or anything like that. I ended up hanging out with my sister for a good chunk of the day, and then her kids went off to with my dad and her dad as well. So my dad got to spend some time with his grandkids, and my sister and I got to go hang out. She got some alone time from her own time, where she got to do whatever she wanted. That was cool and awesome. And kids, like I said, they got to spend some time with their grandpa, and I got to hang out with my sister. So I was going to try and do an early video yesterday. However, the amount of people who are not waking up on time to go get their parts and then calling me with 2 minutes left in my shift before I got to go do something else, to load them up with the full bumper-to-bumper rebuild kit for their truck, that's just not going to happen. Okay? You call me at like 7 in the morning, maybe I can round this stuff up, but don't call me the day before and then say you're going to think about it, and then call me at 11:58 saying, I'm going to come get all this stuff, make sure it's ready. It's like, I got 2 minutes before I got to bounce, brah. That was tough yesterday. I went and looked at a new apartment, so I like that. So I like that. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than what I'm paying now, and it's in a great spot. It's about a block and a half away from work, so less than that actually. I think it's like just a block. I don't even want to say it's a block. It's like you can measure it in feet. It's like 800 or 900 feet from work. So I'm gonna start walking to work. That'll be nice. Downside is I'm right there, so it sucks when you have to call. Yeah, there's too much snow on the ground. I don't think I'm gonna make it to work. It's like, can't use that excuse anymore. So, but I'll be that much closer, and rent will be cheaper, so things will be good. So I'll be able to afford cool stuff. Like one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight on Sunday's Q&A. Today's day 76, by the way. I'll jump into one of the questions as to how do I feel about right now, and we're almost going to hit day 100. We just passed day 75. How do I feel? Unbelievable. I don't think that I've ever followed along with something this long, and really just like consistently doing it. The longest I ever did, like the Atkins diet, was like 3 weeks. And I want to say like 2 weeks following it verbatim. Like the first 2 weeks. And you're like, oh, I lost a whole bunch of weight. And the third week was like, okay, now you can have carbohydrates, but just not enough. And then you make giant sandwiches and whatnot. And, well, there's a lot of meat on there, so it's all right. No, that's not the case. Some of the other, you take the pills and whatnot, and you're like, okay, well, they said I could eat whatever I wanted. So, well, the commercial says you don't have to really change your diet. It's all a bunch of bull. It's like, yes, you need to. It even says that on the bottle. For the best results, add exercise and a diet, and watch the weight fall off. So even those, which are, I want to say, I'll throw my money down and say that's probably pure malarkey. All those pills are probably just snake oil. Yeah, just diet and exercise. Which leads me to my next question. Exercising. What am I going to do for exercise? Gym membership's coming. Probably after I get moved in. Just because I've got to save, obviously, money for, first, last month's rent. Security deposit and first month's rent. And then, I ain't moving. No, I clean up my apartment. Not that there's much in here, but I get rid of a bunch of stuff and try and save up some, you know, after I move, save up some money for some new stuff, couch concern and everything like that. But yeah, no, I want to get that all situated. So I'll get moved and probably around June or July-ish. I want to look into getting a gym membership. The apartment is going to alleviate a financial burden. It's not much smaller. It's a 2 bedroom. It's got a nice bathroom. I actually think the bathroom's bigger, even though it doesn't have a bathtub. But I don't take baths, so yeah. It's got a stand-up shower, good toilet, good sink, nice big sink, window, stuff to put stuff. Kitchen is awesome. So when I say the kitchen is awesome, I mean it is awesome. The There's a lot of counter space next to the stove. It's not like a weird setup. So there'll be cooking. I look forward to cooking. Whether it be chicken or whatever the case may be. I look forward to that. A lot of people are like, oh, he's just too lazy to cook. I just in my kitchen right now with the setup, it's just I don't feel like cooking in it. It doesn't feel like a kitchen that I don't know how to describe it. Don't know. Just don't want to use my kitchen. I don't feel good in it. This kitchen I feel good in. The apartment I feel good in. It's got a nice little area. The 2nd bedroom I don't plan on doing much with other than maybe I want to throw a desk in there. Nice place to like film. I'll take some ideas, whether from you guys or from whatever. I don't want to convert it into like a gym or anything like that. I want to go to a gym. I want to go to a gym. I don't want to make my own gym because you have to take that stuff with you if you ever move. It's a pain in the butt unless I buy a house and have a nice basement and then it's like, boom, gym. But that's way down the road unless this skyrockets YouTube famous, I'm like Illuminati, whatever the case may be. If I trip and fall and stumble across some money, yeah, that'll happen. What else? Yeah, so looking forward to moving. Gym membership about June or July. More content, more stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to. More content and more stuff. Because I like doing these. I want to do these. Yesterday I had every intention and every plan of doing that, but it was really nice hanging out with my sister and doing that. That was a lot of fun. It was really cool. And then afterwards we went up to my dad's house and we hung out. Her, my dad, the kids, his girlfriend. We all hung out. We watched a couple movies, and it was cool. So not something that we do that often, and that was really awesome. So, but yes, I look forward to that stuff. Special plans for day 100. I do have special plans for day 100. How'd you know? I've got something. I've got something up here. So, biggest push is I'm gonna push really hard for a little bit more weight loss and stuff like that. But I got some special plans for day 100 up my sleeve, and I'm gonna line up the right people to help me accomplish those. So, spoiler alert, it's gonna involve guns. So, day 100, guns, it's gonna happen. Sorry. So, it's also gonna involve food. Guns and food. So, and not salad. There won't be any salad in that video. But it's gonna have guns and food. And not the food that I'm supposed to eat. But you'll see. Okay? So tune in for day 100. Guarantee it. You will laugh and have fun and high five or cry. Whatever you're going to do. It's going to be awesome. So yes, there are plans for day 100. Okay. Somebody asked me about the trike. I never got a response from the gentleman up north. So I left a voicemail, and I think I shot him an email too, and didn't really get a response. So I don't know if he's just that busy or what's going on. I do have a fat tire bike that is currently being stored at Richard's house. I remember buying it. It was like on sale. Like normally they're like $400 or something like that, or like $250. I don't know what it was. It ended up being like $100 because the place was going out of business or something. So I bought it and everything, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And I rode it around in a circle at his apartment, and then he moved to his house. Not that that's why I'm not riding it. It's just, I don't have a place to put it, and I'm not going to cart it up 3 flights of stairs every day. So when I move, I'll get it back, and then I'll be able to, ride it to work, even though I'm a short distance from work. But it'll be nice. I'll be able to do that. That'll be cool. Again, I'm looking forward to this apartment deal. It's going to save me a lot of money. It's going to allow me to do more stuff. It's just going to be, it's going to work. It's going to work. Okay. Had another question about other hobbies. What do I like to do? And this kind of ties into someone my dad had asked if I was going to do any treasure hunting. So this falls into, these two they go right hand in hand. When I say treasure hunting, I mean stuff like D Almighty does. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's DALLMYD. He does the underwater scuba things and everything like that. Sorry about my red nose. I woke up and there's like nice little. I'm a human being, so I got a little pimple. That was dumb. But he does those like metal detecting, jump in the rivers and stuff like that for treasure and everything. I would never be able to do that in the Mississippi River just because it's A, sheer gross, and B, just a constant changing of sand dunes underneath there. So trying to find anything would be very hard in the Mississippi. But there are plenty of creeks and watering holes and everything like that that people go to, and that's something that I had an interest in doing. Not necessarily for the stuff, but I was gonna get flippers, I was gonna get, goggles and stuff like that, and then you go out for 2 or 3 hours or something like that, just going up and down this water area, this waterway. Sometimes walking, sometimes swimming. I don't know, I thought it was a pretty good activity choice. And yeah, there is that, you can find something cool. And that's what I was really interested in. At first, was finding something cool. That's why I did the magnet fishing. I did magnet fishing, which is, if you don't know, with tying a magnet onto the end of some paracord or rope or whatever. And I still have to get a really good magnet from Amazon. Still gonna do that, but and you throw it in the water, usually around areas where popular fishing spots. Can't think of anything else, but yeah, popular fishing spots. You toss it out, chances are going to come up with hooks, lures. I've seen somebody pull out a bicycle before. Your knives, pliers, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was going to be really, really neat to do. And like I said, last summer, I started doing that stuff. And then check the docks before you go out there, because some of them are older than they thought. And yeah, one of the boards just decided it didn't agree with me, and I went, yeah. So, but my leg was scraped up for a good portion of the summer, and I didn't want to get it infected, so I didn't do much else. Bummer. So yes, I'd like to add that to the hobbies list. Current hobbies right now are, well, and when I have the money, it's working on my truck. I like to add performance stuff to my truck. Um, I'm basically to the point where I just gotta wait to do the big one. For those you don't know, I drive a Super Duty. I drive a 6.0, so there's all the comments below. Have fun with those. I used to, I went to Universal Technical Institute, unfortunately, and so you know, those you don't know, UTI, um, UTI, um, and I went through their Ford Fact program, and when I left there, I moved to Buffalo, New York, and I was able to start working for a Ford dealership there, who gave me the opportunity to work in their truck shop, their medium duty truck shop. Um, Great place to work, awesome people to work for, and I loved working on trucks. And that's pretty much what I did from day one, was work on 6.0s. And I got very familiar with them, considering that out of school I was working on the newer trucks. But yeah, this way I got to work on all those 6.0s and really got familiar with them. And then one day I, you know, stumbled across this 6.0 that I actually was going to get 2003, which was going to be a big mistake, but it was in my price range, and I was like, you know what, I'll go get that. And then started to drive the 4 hours, and they sold it. But he said, I've got another one here that you might like. And it was the red one. It wasn't a crew cab, but it was extended cab, and I was like, well, okay. It was still technically 4 doors, but yeah, black leather interior. I was like, okay, this is actually a pretty good. Yeah, okay. And had the tonneau cover and everything like that, and I was just like, all right, this works, I'll take it. So I won on that feat. Truck's got a lot of miles on it, but it was very well taken care of. And yeah, basically I'm just waiting to do head studs, and see, head studs, I want to replace the radiator, the charge air cooler, and basically the amount of money I want to dump into it is the amount of money that I could probably just go dump towards the new truck and just drive the new truck. But I don't want to do that, because I know this truck. So I'm just going to keep doing this truck. Let the arguments begin in the comments section below. So yeah. Adding exercise to the mix. That was part of the when I get to my new apartment and everything like that. Right now I wake up and I stretch. And I hit him with a couple squats and really kind of just to get it loosened up, active, you know. That way I'm not just like creaking across everywhere. I like this one. If I could go anywhere in the universe, where would it be? I've always had this fascination with seeing as far out as humanly possible. Not humanly possible, as far out as, if you've ever watched that video of where they're inside the human body, right? The skin cell, they're looking at atoms, and they zoom out, and then they keep going and going and going and going until they see the vast network of what they perceive as the universe. I want to see that. You know? Just that. I don't know how to describe it. I think the closest thing that I'll ever be able to get to that is going to be like a sensory deprivation chamber with my eyes closed, using my imagination and just zoning out. I've never tried one of those chambers, but I think it'd be pretty cool. Joe Rogan hooked me up. And I was going to do this one, but I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I've had some people say, oh, don't worry about the dip and people leaving your channel or anything like that. It's not for gun related, you know, whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to keep it 100 with y'all, but the sheer fact is, yeah, there are people on here that may disagree with the gun situation and everything, and everyone's entitled to their opinions. I'm of the understanding that you should understand everybody's aspect of it. You should always be seeking out knowledge, whether it be true or not, whether it fit your narrative or not, or what you believe in or not. The more you know is power. That sounds silly, but if I know a lot about one subject, if I know a lot about one side of a subject, and don't care to look at anything on the other side of the subject except for some brief bullet points in which that side would use against me, or whatever the case may be, in any discussion, in any debate or whatever. I'll roll my eyes every time they bring something up, and I'll be like, oh, pish posh. I don't agree with you. Surrender. Like you're dumb. You're dumb because I didn't want to take the time to really study that. So I mean, and it's not even like the study thing. It's if you're a law-abiding citizen, okay, not just pointing to me, everybody out there. If you're a law-abiding citizen, go buy a gun. Go buy one. Okay, so here, if you don't want the gun, just go through the steps to buy the gun. Don't just research it. You can walk into a pawn shop. It's not going to make you a dirty person. You can walk into your local firearms dealer. It's not going to make you a dirty person. You can walk into, your local Walmart. Of course, if you're walking into your local Walmart, you will need to be 21 and everything like that. Now, buy a pistol, buy a shotgun, buy whatever the case may be. Okay? Again, you walk in, strike up a conversation. Don't go in for an argument. Because you want to learn. Not necessarily about the gun, okay, but about the process of purchasing a gun. If the hang up with the guns is the process in which to purchase a gun, I'm going to tell you right now, you got to jump through some hoops. But, like I said, I don't want to talk politics about it too much. I believe I've expressed my stance on it. I want to stop talking about the guns, and if you really want to keep children safe, then you will do whatever means necessary to keep the children safe. Metal detectors, security guards, those in place. You'll figure out a way to implement that. Those two things: metal detectors, security guards. Limited entrances into the building. That way you're forced to go through those entrances and see those cards. Somebody said, well, what if you just, sneak it past the metal detector? I was like, you can't sneak metal past the metal detector. I was like, okay, like, what if it's in your bag and I was like, okay, well, technically you're not going to go through the metal detector with your bag. Okay? TSA. Not saying X-ray machines, boom, look in my bag. Oh, that's an invasion of privacy. The only things that you're supposed to be bringing to school are pens, notebooks, laptops, calculators, school supplies. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but if you bring your sex toy with you, they're going to ask you about your F-Master 9000. Okay? Yeah. So, apologies, but that's just the way it's got to be. You want your children safe, it's going to be unsightly. Oh, but the metal detectors, they cause anxiety, or they cause this, they cause that. No, they don't. They don't. they cause safety. So, whether you agree with me or not, they cause safety. That's why sporting facilities and everything like that, the TSA, that's why they use metal detectors and wands and everything like that. And oh, what about being late to class? Okay, well, if Jimmy decided to bring a knife in his backpack and decided not to give it up, security guard at the front office, call the police, Jimmy, blah, blah, blah. Now there's something that the front office can do to say, okay, there's an incident happening at da-da-da, your students will be late. Please excuse them. Oh, now students can use that as an excuse to blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's going to be some times when students are going to be late. Don't bring knives to school. Don't bring guns to school. Metal detectors. We need to dump that money into them. We need to dump more money into schools. Okay? But yes. Where that money's going to come from is the next question. So, and that's why I said I don't want to get into politics, because then you start jumping through a whole bunch of different other rabbit holes. But I feel that to be safe and everything like that, gun policies, you need to stop talking about gun policies. Straw purchasing is where our biggest fail point, and government reporting and straw purchasing. Yeah, government reporting first, straw purchasing second. Because government reporting of, instances and everything like that, the Air Force and the state forgot to mark the guy who did the Texas shooting and killed 26 people. The Parkland shooter, 39 times he had instances between cops, FBI, and, Facebook and everything like that, and nobody decided to act on it because they didn't want their numbers to get affected. F your numbers. If somebody is a threat, they need to be assessed. Period. Children would still be alive today. People would still be here. The people in Texas. Children would still be here. People would still be here. We can't ask the state, we can't ask the government to step in and put their hand further in if they're already not doing their job. That's like walking past somebody who's not doing their job and tell them to try harder. Well, they're going to say, try harder at not doing my job. So, I'm going to leave there. Because I already feel like that's a bad thing to say. But I love every single one of your faces. Sorry about day 75. Took a family day. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. May or may not be Monday Gun Day. Don't know. Buddy Richard decided to take a lounge day on me today and hasn't returned any of my phone calls. So Richard, if you're watching this right now, which you may or may not be, message me back, bro. And let me know what we're going to do tomorrow so that we can get some stuff filmed and do some stuff. Otherwise, I got to go by myself and play sad songs over me shooting by myself. But yes. But on that note, like I said, love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow, Monday.